Hi, it's Kari Mathews of Prairie Quilting, and today we are working on the second block for the October wall hanging for Once Upon a Month, block of the month. The pattern is available through my website, prairiequilting.com, and each block is sold separately, and with each block there's another project, and this is the other project. So we're going to work on that second block. Let's get started. Okay, for our second block for October here, we are going to go ahead and match up this gold with this pretty leaf print. Okay, right sides together, and I've done a bunch of them here. We need 6 of these sets of 2 here, okay? And I'm drawing a diagonal line down the center. We're going to be making half square triangle units. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trim on that line. Just cut it down and cut those 2 apart. Now we have 2 half square triangles for both of those, okay? And I've done this with most of these here. So we have a pile. We need 12 half square triangle units for this block. Okay, and for these half square triangles, we're going to go ahead and go toward that maroon color. And I like to kind of set them, put the color I'm going toward on the top and just kind of peel back that layer. Okay, and now we'll go ahead and trim off all of our dog ears. All right, there's a lot of these. Last one. Okay, so we're going to be making 4 patches with these half square triangles and a plum square, okay? So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to use this kind of to show me which way I'm going. So I'm going to sew these 2 together. We have 3 more of those that we need to do. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, and then our plum squares. Okay, so they're gonna go like this. Okay, and we'll just do these up too. This is good assembly line piecing here. Okay, for the plum one, I'm going to go toward that plum because there's less bulk. Okay, and because the plum are going this way, we're going to go this way for these other ones. So the seams will nest. All right, and let's connect these up. We'll go ahead and nest those seams and put our pin in them. I like to lay things out and see if it's going the right direction. Okay, and last one. And I'm going to just go ahead and press toward that where the plum square is. Okay, to make our flying geese 4 at a time, we're going to go ahead and draw a diagonal line on the wrong side of 4 of these orange squares, okay? And so I've done 2 here. And first we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna line them up on this light blue square. It's the background fabric. Okay, and then see how the line is continuous. Okay, so that's what we are wanting on that. And we'll sew on both sides of that, that line. Okay, but we'll go ahead and mark the other 2 here while we're here. All right, and we'll turn around and come back the other direction. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and trim on this line, and you can do this with scissors. Okay, and for the flying geese units, we're gonna go ahead and press toward the orange, okay? So we have kind of a heart looking block here. Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and take those remaining orange that we drew the line on, and this line is gonna go perpendicular to the seam that we just sewed, okay? And we'll do the same thing there. We'll go down both sides a 1/4 inch. Okay, so I'm gonna show you this. So there's like kind of a W here. We're going in this one and we'll come out the other side. Okay, so we're going 1/4 inch from both sides of that line. Okay, and we'll go ahead and come back the other direction. Okay, and we're going to trim on that line again. So each of these, the square that we started out with and the 4 orange squares gives us 4 flying geese units here. Okay, and we'll go ahead and press toward the orange again. Okay, and here we go. We're gonna go ahead and connect our flying geese up to these light blue rectangles. Okay, so we'll get these all situated. Okay, let's sew. I'm going to go ahead and press toward that light blue. All right, next we're going to take 1 1/4 square triangle, actually 4 of them, 2 maroon, 2 orange, okay? And we're going to sew them together on the short sides here. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and press toward the maroon. And we'll clip these little dog ears. Okay, and now we're gonna match those up, okay? Okay, let's put a pin in that and we'll sew. Okay, and we'll just press. Doesn't really matter which way, they're the same going both directions. So, and we'll clip off those corners again. Okay, so I have the block laid out. It's a fancy 9 patch, basically. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and connect these up. And these seams here are nesting, okay? And these ones, this side, there's a nesting diagonal seam, okay? And this side there is as well. Okay, and then there's a seam right here in the middle that's also is nesting. So go ahead and pin those and let's sew. right, and now we'll put the last blocks on. These two, there's a seam here that's nesting again. Okay, and these, this one nests. This one doesn't, so we're gonna force this nest, okay? I'm just gonna bend one of those over so that there will be a nesting seam going on. All right, for that center section, we're gonna go toward that center kind of hourglass block, okay? And we're gonna go away from the center on this one. Okay, and go away from the center on this, the top and the bottom sections here, okay? Now we'll go ahead and put the rows together, okay? So we have this nesting seam here, and got one more here. Actually, no, we've got a few more. Okay, so the main blocks nest, and then also these side blocks, they also nest. Between the flying geese and this, the one with the half square triangles. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we're gonna connect this last row. All right, and let's just go away from the center. And there is our second block for October. All right, our block is finished. I hope you had fun, and I hope to see you soon for another project. Take care.